Okay, so you might remember when I was driving down to the do the haymaking the other day, I noticed that there was quite a few docks in the field and thistles and things growing back. Harry's just on his bike there, look at him go. Evil Knievel. So I've arranged for Ed to come in and spray them off. Don't like using too many sprays on the farm, but there's a point where if you don't treat some of the weeds, they will spread all over the fields. So he'll be in soon, and we'll hopefully catch up with do a little bit of video just to show the sprayer in action. In the meantime, Harry's cycling around here. Alright, Harry?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying that? I learnt to ride on this yard. We have liftoff. You stay there, cows. Let's go and spraying. So here we go. So Ed is about to spray off mostly docks and some thistles here. Let's have a look. We got some thistles here. Some of these have gone past their best for spraying. It's the docks I'm more interested in. I'm going to not get too close. Let's have a look. I don't want to get that spray on me. He stood right on a patch of docks there. So this was grazed off a while ago, and the docks came up and regenerated just after it had been grazed. So they've actually got a good covering of leaves on them now. I might move out of his way because he might reverse back. Certainly don't want a mouthful of that stuff. Look, that's clever, isn't it? It's just lowering down. Look at that. Okay, he started. Look, there's a mist of spray coming out. Now I'm certainly not going to get near that. Look, he's going over the really bad docks. And I can't graze the cattle on this for quite a while. So it's a tricky field. It's got a pond just there, look, so you don't want to get too close to that. So he's got to work out how he's going to go around there. Look, he's going to go, I think he's going to go straight across. Let's zoom in. If I can zoom in, you can see the mist there. Look at the drift on that as it comes behind. So as he moves along, the spray naturally goes behind. It's very still, the air at the moment. It's not blowing because of wind. And you can see the docks he's driving through now. So he's going right back down there. He's doing 2 fields, about 9 acres. Still imperial sometimes. Right, I've got to go and open the gate along there to let him in. Ooh, bit wobbly because he's going to do the other field. I'll come back and have another look in a minute. Alright, let's have a look then. So these are the docks, look. Big wide things. Good leaf. You need a good leaf covering for them to die. The thistles might be, they'll still kill them, but they're really probably getting a bit late to spray these, especially the ones with the heads on them. But some of them are quite young growth. There's a look at the thistles in here. Look, creeping thistles is a real problem on this farm. So he's spraying this just because we've got to get control of it, otherwise it'll take over the field. Right, let's see how he gets getting on. There's a big hole in here. I think that might be foxes in there. Anyway, let's have a look. He's just coming back. There he is. And the width of that boom, I'm not sure what that is. That is very wide. This isn't a video where I want to get very close. In some videos I like to look around the machinery and get close, but I'm not going to do that with that sprayer. Let me just get out of the way a minute. I'm going to get into the hedge. There we go. Just interesting for anyone to see this, I think. If you're organic, you can't do this. Well, the thing is, we're not organic, so I can still spray off thistles and docks, but I think it's a big problem for organic farmers. Here we go. Yeah, if you're an organic farmer, I think you've got to do a lot more rotation of your fields. Quite hard to get rid of things like creeping thistle. Right, there he goes. There's no spray drifting to me, which is good. Right, he's just doing a bit of a manoeuvre there. You be very careful with these two things. You got to be careful with on a sprayer. Firstly, several things actually. Firstly, is you don't clonk into a tree when you're going along, because those arms are quite wide, and he's coming back. The second one is to really think about the drift. You don't want to, I'm sure he's checked all this, wind speed. You don't want this drifting onto a neighbour's field or even someone's garden. Third thing is, when you fold this thing up, you've got to be careful of the power lines above, because if you fold that up, it goes up quite high. You could hit a power line, and then before you know it, you've taken out all the neighbour's electric and maybe even electrocuted yourself. Although you're right to jump until you jump out the cab, because you're insulated by the tyres. Right, I'm going to leave Ed to do that. He's going to do this field, and then he's doing the next one. But there you go, there's just an insight into the maintenance of fields. Quite funny, isn't it? Just talking there about the maintenance of fields. It's very easy to think that you just have grass and you leave it alone and it just looks after itself. Well, that's not really true. There's so many issues with it in getting fertility right. You know, you need to make sure it's got enough nutrients in the soil to grow the crop. You need to have the balance of pH in the soil right, because if that's not right, so sometimes we put lime on the soil to adjust the balance around here. And then the management of the weeds, because realistically it's not just weeds really, it's things like the hawthorn and blackthorn particularly creeps out into the field. Certainly if you had a field and just abandoned it, it wouldn't take long for it to go back to nature, end up being scrubland, and before you know it, that scrubland then turns into a woodland. So, because this is, I've said before, this is all man-made. It looks very idyllic, doesn't it? And the green pleasant fields of England with the hedges, but that's all man-made. That's not a natural environment. You know, the grass doesn't want to stay as grass, it wants to stay as woodland, and the hedges don't really want to stay as hedges, they want to become trees. And if you didn't trim them, they would become trees, and the hedges get wider and wider and wider. So, you know, it's completely, the green fields of England are completely artificial. But saying that, they're lovely artificial. Right, I'm off back to do the milking.